Why is my salt and
Okay.
pepper on the bookshelf?
Welcome back to another episode of Pen and Prosper. An episode I'm really excited about because today we are discussing my strategy. Woo!
Woo! It's gonna be
We
good.
have
It's
Lucky
gonna be
Mon
so
we
good.
have Lucky Monkey. Lucky Monkey is gonna rain down the luck. Um, so I'm super excited about this episode. But before we get to that, this is Pen and Prosper, a podcast on writing and publishing and author manifestation. And it is where I am coached in real time by my superhero, JT. Hi, JT.
Hi, Delford. Did you mean author manifestation or money manifestation? Because I don't want
Oh,
to manifest
both.
more authors in my life.
Oh, true
No, I'm kidding. I
story.
love authors. I actually would like more authors in
We're all about the
my money.
money.
About the money.
Um, Behind the scenes, JT and I just set up my Facebook ad account and we named it Melissa's Moneymaker because we are putting it out into the universe. Okay, before we get to that though, you have some big news of your own. You've had a few really big things. I think I left last week's on such a cliffhanger. So now that people have had a week to wonder. Okay, so let us talk about, let's go in order. So TikTok shop sold out.
Yes, so that
What
was
a win.
yeah, unexpected and awesome. So as you know, the first few weeks of having stock there, we were like, nothing's happening, and then TikTok's going to start charging us for those books in the warehouse. So we're
Yes.
like, oh, it doesn't look like this is working. But then, of course, we didn't try the thing that everyone says you have to try. So as soon as we did that, the book sold out. So what is that?
Okay.
It's working with collaborators.
Influencers.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Mike basically emailed a few different TikTokers that he thought would be right for the genre. So he did bad, my semi-romance, and he did urban fantasy, and asked if they would like a copy of the book. The people who said yes, we sent them the books, and they made videos, shared it with their followers, and then they get a cut of the sale. So it's really
Yes.
great because they work hard, we work hard, and like it really works well together. So that has been excellent. We sold out very quickly. We were very surprised by it. Quickly put in another order, and then a few days after that, put in another order because it just seems like like once it gains momentum, it kind of goes. So we need to like
Yes.
yeah. The next step, apparently, so one of the book talkers' name is Bex. She's very cool. She said that other authors she works with takes her videos and then puts money behind it so that more people see it. So it's more
Oh,
like an
wow.
ad. And she said that works really well. And she also gets a cut from that. So that's great.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
I
our
see
next step.
TikTok loves monetization though.
Yeah.
I told you I've just done those three lives to try and get like an
Yeah.
opportunity
Yeah.
to,
Well
I didn't
done.
know you couldn't host a live unless you'd been live three times on your own for 30 minutes.
Yes.
And as you know, I ended up with some random man co-hosting my live because I am but I did it, and
Well done.
I cannot believe how, as soon as that third one was done, when I went back into my TikTok, it was a completely different platform. It was
Oh,
like, right, now
really?
you can have paid subscribers, and now you can do this, and now you can. I was like, sure. Like
Wow.
TikTok wants people to use, I think, everything on, not just film a video, and they seem to
Yes.
love live.
Yes. They
So,
do. They do.
so obviously your collaborators are probably doing that.
Okay, but tell me, how long do you have to be live for?
It's 30 minutes, three
30
times. But
minutes.
mine opened, yeah, but
What
mine
do you what
opened
do you talk
early.
about for 30 minutes?
I did all I did was I the first time I went live, I did an office tour. So I kind of said, this is my workspace, this is what's on my desk, this is what my space looks like, this is my writing process. And then it's amazing because you get random people hopping on and then people do ask a question. And
Do
that
they?
is like a godsend. So I was very lucky. Shanae Tuck jumped onto mine.
Oh, thank God.
And she's so lovely. And so she just asked questions. As soon as you have a question, you
Yeah,
can talk for a good
yeah.
couple of minutes, you know?
So actually
And then
then,
this,
would you
yeah,
ask some mates of yours to like just stand by and then when you live they can
you
just ask
could
some questions? Because I don't know how else I
100%.
would like do it.
It doesn't really matter if you have one person in the lab or 1,000 people in the lab.
Okay.
It's a box ticking exercise. And because it's live and it's not filmed and it's not shown anywhere afterwards, you kind of keep repeating. So I kept repeating. The reason that I'm doing this is because I have this podcast with JT and this is where it is and this is where you can find it. And we have to unlock this functionality if we ever want to go live before episodes, because I thought it'd be really nice for us to go live every now and again before episodes
Yeah,
to talk
yeah.
about what we're going to be filming that day.
Yeah, that's great.
So then people, and then we will leave, go off and do the filming. And then, yes, there will be like a delay for them to watch it, but I think it'll build a bit of hype. And it is daunting, but it's also TikTok is such a forgiving audience.
It
They don't
is.
want you to be professional in a way. They
No.
want more like you to be lying in your room, and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" TikTok, and they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
definitely.
hey."
Yeah. Like the more authentic, the
So
better.
yeah, yeah. So I think do it, just do it. Anyway, so
Uh-huh.
so TikTok does seem to be very collaborative, like
Yeah.
community,
Well, we've definitely seen that it works.
and TikTok Shop is still not available in SA.
I know,
I even
sorry.
signed a petition.
Sorry.
To be honest, I think even if it was, I don't think it would work as well here.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
Yeah. So, we've sold out. You sold out, which is wonderful, and you're just ordering lots of books, and TikTok Shop is working as it is supposed to.
Oh, sorry.
Then
One other
you,
thing with that TikTok shop is just as a matter of interest, it's the steamy romance that's selling. Urban fantasy has done nothing,
okay.
absolutely nothing. We have not sold
Really?
one book, as far as I know. Okay, maybe one, but like that stock is still sitting there. So
Well,
what a
that's good
great
for me to
test.
know.
Yeah.
Yes. No, because I would have come in hot with urban fantasy and had nothing, whereas I've got a semi romance series coming. It's coming hot and hot to trot. I think I've got like about 7,000 words to go and I'm done with the book one.
Yes,
So,
well done. What's your word count
yeah,
now?
I'm going for 50.
Yeah,
Remember you said
brilliant.
50?
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, second big thing that happened was that you had Prime Reading,
Oh,
the Prime
yes.
Reading program inclusion. But didn't you have that with two books?
Yeah,
Or was it only
so
with one?
so I've never been invited into prime reading before. So
First, maybe just explain to us, yeah, what Prime Reading is.
yeah, prime reading is a program in Amazon where the Prime members can basically read for free. So it's like a free KU that comes as part of your other membership. It's just like another level, basically. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly. So, what is great about being invited to the Prime Reading program is obviously your book is put in front of those voracious readers.
Yes.
So, when KDP emailed me and said, "Would you like to join our Prime Reading program in the UK with Bad Book One, which is like the perfect book for
Oh, yes.
you put
Oh,
into prime
yes.
reading." I'm like, oh my God, yes, please. They pay me $200 for it because you don't get paid for the reading that happens in prime reading. You still get your sales on Amazon, you still get your KU reads. So you're not
Okay.
losing that, but you don't get paid for your prime readers who read the book.
Okay.
Okay,
Got
so
you.
it's free for them basically, and you don't get that. But they get giving me 200 it's 200 pounds, I think, because it's UK.
And you're
But
getting book one in front of probably
yeah,
their most rabid
yeah.
readers.
And I said to Mike, I would pay 200 pounds for that. I mean, I'm surprised they're paying me. I think it's wonderful. Thank you very much, KDP.
That's so cool.
Then yesterday or the day before, I got an email inviting me to the Australian Prime Reading program.
Also for bad.
Also for Bad But Bad too, which is weird, but I'm not complaining.
No, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? They'll go back and read book one. I did that once. I went to the library and I got The Summer I Turned Pretty sequel, and I didn't
Yes,
understand anything that was going on until I
yes,
realized that it was
yes,
actually book two. And
yeah,
then I went and got book one because
yeah.
I was quite enjoying it.
And the book is very clearly labeled as book two, so I don't think that
Okay.
will be a problem. So that's cool,
Okay.
and I think
Okay.
I'm getting $100 for that. So that's also very
What a
nice.
pleasure.
Oh, awesome.
There's no cons here. You like reaching new readers, getting paid.
The only con might be that it might cannibalize KU reads, but honestly,
I don't think much. I feel like they would be two very different audiences.
I'm really not sure, and I guess we'll see. But I'm super happy
Okay.
about it.
And we will hear when it's done how
Yes,
it was.
yes.
See, this is what I love. I love this podcast so much because ordinarily you and I do chat during the week and stuff, but I wouldn't think to ask these sort of follow-up questions, you
Yeah.
know? Then
Okay,
the
yeah, this
big
is the
one,
biggest
because
thing.
even I don't know what this is. All I hear is millionaire author. And I'm like, let me in, let me in. So this is Craig Martell's group. And we all
Yes.
know Craig Martell started 50 books,
Yeah, him.
the
Well,
50
it was
books group.
actually Michael Anderle, and then Craig
Okay.
was a big part of it, and then he
Okay.
kind of took over. Yeah, he's one of
And
the OGs, 20 books
he's like the guy. Everyone looks up
is
to
the
him. It's
guy.
like he's like the writing gods, and then Craig sits there on the right hand
Yes, he
side.
is. Yeah.
So he reached out to you, as far as I know.
Yeah.
You
So
didn't. Yeah, tell
he
us, just
he
tell us, and let us
he
soak it
runs
in.
a millionaire author mastermind. Okay, so it's like
Okay.
strictly by invitation. You can't like put yourself forward. It's very hard to get into. So
Okay.
when I was in civil, I spoke to a few people and we talked about numbers, and they were like, "You should have been in Aruba." And I'm like, "I didn't like what like I didn't know what happened in Aruba." People are like, "Oh, we're just back from Aruba. It's so amazing. It's so amazing." And I'm like, feeling really left out.
You're like,
No,
oh, can we stop talking about Aruba, bitches?
because
We're
that
in
night
Sevilla now.
that night that we all met, we had a reception at the Radisson the night before the conference for all the speakers. This was when they were like, "Oh, we're all back from Aruba," because they're all the speakers and they're all doing so well. And I was like, "Thanks for the invite, guys." And they were like, "No, you should be in Aruba with your numbers." And I'm like, "Guys, I don't know what you're talking about." So it was the mastermind that they meet in a
Oh,
different country every year, and they talk about obviously it's about networking, and they talk about new ideas and everything. And I mean, can you imagine the alpha that is downloaded in those sessions? Like it must be so incredible.
yeah.
So
I feel like this is like the Freemasonry or the like Illuminati of the
it
right.
does feel a bit like that.
Do you have a secret handshake?
If there is one, I don't know. Do you get like a special ring or something?
Yeah, surely, surely.
But like I'm joking and stuff. Obviously, I'm like, "Oh, thanks for the invite, guys. Why didn't I get an invite to Aruba, whatever?" And they're like, "No, you should have actually been there, and it'll be worth like putting your name forward or whatever." Like I don't know how it works.
Wow.
So I was like, "Okay, whatever." And then after that, like we carried on talking, and then James Blatch said to me, "Would you like me to put your name forward to Craig for the mastermind?" And I was like, "Yes, please. That would be awesome."
Yeah. Like,
But
is any author ever going to say no to
no.
that? Let's be real. No, 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 I've got a lot on. Aruba's not really my vibe.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to be in Aruba? It sucks. Like a tropical paradise full of millionaires.
Yeah,
But I'd also spoken to Steve about it, and Steve Higgs, and he was like, "No, no, no, like you must definitely so next year's Aruba is New Zealand, okay?" He's like, "No, no, you must
okay.
definitely come to New Zealand, like there's no question." So I thought he was gonna put me forward to Craig. So then when James asked me, I was like, "I think Steve's putting me forward, but thank you, whatever." So I don't know actually like like who put me forward. I did speak to a lot of people who said, "No, you must definitely come to New Zealand." But if when I got that email, like a few days after Civil,
Yes,
Craig messaged
yes.
me and he said, like, "You've done so well, well done, and I'd like to formally invite
Did
you
you
to the
cry? I would
mastermind."
have cried. I would have been
I
like,
did have I,
made
I
it.
had
I've made it.
I had tears in my eyes, but it wasn't like full on weeping. I think I was just too excited. I was like,
Yeah.
"This is
And
this,
probably in a bit of shock.
yeah." I mean,
Friend,
this might change things.
we're talking about an author who comes from South Africa. We know that holds us back massively. 10
Exactly.
years of working and getting nowhere. And then it's just like all of a sudden it's like,
Like my
what?
heart.
I'm sorry, what just happened?
I want to tell you something else about Craig because this is like really like and I didn't say it in the Facebook message back to him. I just like accepted and stuff. But when I see him in London, I just want to take him aside and just speak to him because this time last year, no, 18 months ago, I was doing some piecework for him because I was so broke. Then when he was giving away a ticket to the London conference, I put my hand up and I'm like, "I can't afford to go. Please consider me." And there were lots of people who put their names forward for the thing, but he chose me, which was
Oh, wow.
amazing. So he actually sponsored my London conference. Plus,
Oh, wow.
plus he gave me £200 as like a gift, and that covered my train trip there and back. Just saying,
No,
friend, I
friend.
didn't have time, I didn't have money for accommodation. It was like,
Were you in the UK at this point? Were you
yes, yes, I was in the
okay?
UK, but like rent here is so steep, and like it was hard in the
Yes.
beginning. And I wanted
Oh,
to. Oh no, I
that's
wanted to
so
like.
what a nice guy.
He's such a nice
Jeepers.
guy,
Yeah,
and
I mean that's putting your money where your mouth is. Like it's one thing to stand on your soapbox and go, I can teach you how to do it, but
yes,
to actually take someone in like that and put your own
yeah,
hard-earned cash on the line and be like, and
yeah,
that's a lot of money, to sponsor a whole trip. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah.
amazing.
It was so
Oh,
amazing.
friend.
And so like when he emailed me, he said like from doing piecework for me and a sponsored ticket to being invited to
Yeah.
the mastermind, like you've done well.
Okay.
And I was
Oh
like, oh my God.
man.
But I want to take him aside and hug him. And because I bet you he doesn't know like the whole story. And I just want to tell
Yeah.
him because London wasn't just a conference, London changed things for me. In fact, I'd love to do an episode just on London because there were so many things that happened when I was there.
Write it down.
Okay, I realize this sounds supremely woo, right? But I was listening to podcasts at that time that were woo, and it was like, watch out for the signs. If you don't know where to go, which direction to follow, watch out for the signs. And there were signs everywhere. I'm just going to give you one example. I was starting to write steamy romance, and guess which author I got to take care of and like shepherd to the green room? Erica James, E.L.
Oh
James,
no, you're joking. Are you
E.L.
she
freaking
she
James.
50 Shades of EL?
Can you believe it?
No, I
And,
can't deal
and
with
here's just one
it.
other thing, but I have a list. I actually wrote down the list because it was so
Well
mind-boggling.
done.
And I told the children, I'm like, this happened, and then this happened, and they were like, wow, mom, it is a sign. But anyway, there's one other thing. We will do a London episode, right? But
Yes,
my
definitely.
well, you won't know this, but my bad, the rich mafia family in my bad series, the surname is Ravenscroft, and the covers were black and gold, right? Remember them with the
Yes,
original
yes,
covers?
yes, yes.
So I'm walking in London listening to this podcast, and she's like, "Look out for signs, whatever." Da, da, da. You will not believe it, but there was this expensive looking shop, and it was in black and gold. It was called Ravenscroft.
No,
So weird, dude. I'm like, okay, this is it.
no. Wait, I'm lighting
Okay.
my candle. I'm lighting my
Ah,
candle. I'm lighting my candle. I just feel like this is just, I'm lighting my calm candle because I'm gonna like start to hyperventilate.
woo!
My calm candle. The calm candle is lit. Okay. This is on fire.
Where's my calm candle? So that was the
Oh
big news.
wow.
Yeah.
So are you in? Are you in Millionaire
I'm
Author?
I'm in and I'm already learning stuff. It's amazing.
Oh, friend, that is incredible. Well, I won't ask for too much because I know how the Illuminati works, and daren't we upset them? The goal is just to get me there, and then I don't need to live vicariously
Exactly.
anymore.
I, I will
Then I will
obviously
be
be
in New
sharing
Zealand.
what I learn with you, obviously.
Yes, yes,
And
yes,
and with the
yes,
podcast. Thing about
yes.
the mastermind, it's not top secret. It's just that
Okay.
only a certain level can be in there because otherwise it defeats
Yeah.
the object. When someone answers your
Yes.
question in there, you want to know that they're a seven-figure author.
Yeah, and they can put it into practice.
Yeah,
Big things happen at the top
yeah.
that aren't accessible, but it's nice to know them to know that when you grow, that's where you want to get to.
And
To know them to know that when you grow, that's where you want to get to.
and it's people asking good questions and people giving good
Yeah.
answers because they've all already,
Yeah.
it's not like in
Okay.
a smaller group where people are like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I
This
mean.
is what I think might work, but it's like, no,
Yes.
no, this is what I know has worked because
Yeah.
I've done it effectively and
Yeah.
I've bought a Ferrari
Yeah.
off it.
Exactly.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
well done.
Thank you.
I'm
So
so
I'm
proud
going
of
to
you.
New
Like
Zealand next year.
I remember the Secret Book Club, and you're like, "Hey, I've written this book, and like, would you read it?" And yeah, I think you thanked your mom and your dad or something, or your stepmom for reading it for you.
Oh,
And
my dad and my mom, my bonus mom, have proofread
eh,
every single book of
every book.
mine, apart from the steamy ones because they're a bit too steamy. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable writing them, then that would like not work. And my bonus mom watches every episode, so I just want to give
Oh
thanks.
man.
Thanks, mom. Thanks,
Oh,
Lily. Love you
friend.
lots.
And like I would just think, friend, where you are now, it's just insane. And if that's, you know what, hard work does pay off eventually. It takes time, but it does pay off. Like you can't sit as an author, I think, and go, oh, I want success, but also, oh, I don't have time to write. So, like, I might release one book a year. And also, I don't have, like, you can't do that. You make the sacrifices, you
Yeah,
make the time, you make the effort,
yeah.
you compromise on the expensive skincare to pay for some ads. You do the thing because, like you say, you were like, little orphan Annie getting sponsored a ticket on
Yeah,
a train to go to the
yeah,
conference. Like talk about Cinderella at the ball. And but do you know what I mean? You put your hand up and you asked and you went but you wouldn't have got there without doing all those things and without putting in
yeah,
the work and without doing the piecework for him and all of that. So
yeah, yeah.
I'm very proud of you, is
Thank
what I think I'm
you.
trying to say in a very long-winded way.
Thank you so much.
Okay, right. Now enough about you.
Let's talk about
Okay.
you, Delphort.
We are shifting gears in a big way.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm ready.
So excited. I was so nervous this morning. I was like, I felt like I needed to like take a pill or something, which I didn't do. It's the backstory. We have a backlist that is not really cohesive in terms of I don't have like two great urban fantasy series, or I have one urban fantasy series that we're going to try and kind of start working on so that when the next
Yes,
one comes out, there'll be spin there.
yes,
Well, I do have two, but one obviously is with Micah. I'm talking about for my ads.
yes.
And then the second thing is the steam. So I have a couple of standalones. I'm not really worried about that.
Okay.
I think copying what you've done, steamy romance series, urban fantasy, spit them out, get them going.
Yeah.
The steamy romance, obviously, I'm quite close to finishing the first book. I will definitely send you a few chapters. Just you might be like, Melissa,
I know you can write romance.
advertise to the Bridgerton people, you know.
I know you can write romance. I'm just super interested to see what you do with the steamy parts.
This is the thing. It's so subjective. I'm not. I know when I've written something well and I've written something badly. I think that comes with the territory of writing for a long time. But this is different. This is like, I think it's spicy. But, but this I don't have any experience in, so I could be completely off my
Yes.
mark. Okay. So strategy wise, got Guardians of Summerfeld, which word count wise is probably similar to your because
Blood.
there was about 75. Yes. So
Yes.
although there's only 4 books, there are
Yes.
in terms of KU and page reads, we might have something there.
Yes. And you have that as a box set.
Um, and I have it as a box set, yes.
Okay. And then, okay, so that's urban fantasy. And what else are we working with here?
So I think those two are the ones that we should focus on because the legacy is also long, runs long, 300,000 words for the trilogy. And that's really cool, but that's going into dystopia, completely different vibe. And I don't have anything else in that. You see, at least, I know it's going, half of it's going to Micah, but at least Shadow Magic is, I do have that on the Guardian side. And then my Alyssa Dell stuff, there's no series, Clockkeeper standalone, and Rachel Road stuff is too short, I think, to throw money at the first book because your page reads are going to be they were like
Yeah.
novellas.
Yeah.
The Traveler is it's not fantasy, but it's not sci-fi. It's the weirdest thing. It's like this also adventure series. It's got elemental control, not magic. I don't know what I would classify it as. It's not spicy, so I wouldn't say romantasy.
If you
So
can't categorize it clearly, then it's going to be a hard sell,
going
as
to be
we've
tough,
learned.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Guardians, I think my focus should be on marketing, should be marketing Guardians, and writing should be writing this steamy romance finished.
Yeah.
And then obviously I'm also writing another urban fantasy series.
So, in my opinion, when you're talking about your business strategy, you need to start right from the beginning. Like before you even look at which books you have in your catalog, right? You've got to look
Yeah.
at your life and say, what do I want from my life? What is your perfect millionaire lifestyle? Okay. So for me, it's easy. I have time to relax, to read, and to travel. I have plenty of money. I have success in publishing. I'm fit and healthy, and I'm productive but rested. Okay. So then you have to go
Same.
and
Copy
say,
paste.
good, good,
Okay,
good.
literally copy paste.
Plus, and you've got to take those things that you want from your life, and then you need an action plan for them, right? So, like, for example, an action plan for being fit and healthy would be gymming, walking, yoga, swimming schedule for the week. Okay, just as an example. But for every one of those things, there are things that are going to activate them, right? So being successful in publishing, you're going to be writing as many books as possible within your reach so that you don't overreach, you don't want to burn out and get sick, but you want to be super productive, get those books out and advertise them to the best of your ability. Okay.
Yeah.
But we're not just looking at that, we're looking at the whole picture. Okay. So that's where you start. What do you want your life to look at? What do you have to do to get there?
Okay.
Okay. Now we can like hone in on into the business aspect. So the books
Okay.
that I think are going to get you to a six-figure author are urban fantasy box sets and steamy romance box sets, as we already know.
Okay.
So what do we have to do now? We've got that urban fantasy box set that's not with Micah, that's all yours, that we're going to start. You've already recovered it and it's looking great. You've worked on the blurb, you've worked on the package, and now we're going to start Facebook ads on it. So that's, I
And
think,
we've done a German translation.
yes,
I can't
yes.
believe I have a German box set. That's so cool.
It's weird and cool,
And
hey?
it's live. Eh? It went live at 1 o'clock this morning.
Yes, well done. Yeah, we'll definitely put a
Yeah, so
Facebook
that's
ad on
cool.
that. So we've got your Urban Fantasy box set and we're going to put ads on it. And I think that's going to be a very, very good way to kickstart this thing. I have a
Okay.
feeling that when you see that the Facebook ads work, then you're going to start getting itchy and you're going to be like, oh, no, Mike is not doing, my publisher's not doing enough for me on my bigger Urban Fantasy box set. And I think
Mm.
you're going to want to start having more control of that. You're either going to ask him if you can start doing the ads or if you can up the ad spend, or you can start having the uncomfortable conversations
Yes.
that are
Did you
inevitable
have?
in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's a big series that it's a big chunk. Like it's funny when I'm telling you all the stuff that I have, it's weird to avoid shadow magic because it is my biggest body of work.
Exactly. And
Okay.
you want to get them in audiobook and you're going to want to put them in your TikTok shop. So honestly,
Yes.
I think it's a matter of time, but you need to be comfortable with the time it takes, you know.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
So basically what we're looking at now is very simple, right? We're putting that box set up and the German version, and we're going to put Facebooks on them. Awesome. And we're going to test and we're going to see how that does. And we're going to
Okay.
talk about the Facebook ads in the next episode. Okay.
Yes.
And then apart from doing that, you need to sit down and think of what else you can do with your catalog to make the most out of it. You know that magic pie that you slice? It's like you take one book and you make so many different products out of it. So you need to sit with
Yes.
everything in your catalog and decide what you want to do. But you do need to back your prize racehorses.
Yeah.
You need a plan for your entire catalog. But
Okay.
sometimes the plan is, okay, I'm not touching that series anymore because it's not bringing any money, and that can just like be stagnant until I know what to do with it, right?
Okay.
But that's why
Got
we've
you.
chosen your four book UF box set because we
Yes.
know that's a winner. You've recovered, and we're gonna like try and make that work now. Okay, but you
Okay.
do need a strategy for every book in your catalog, even if it means you're not touching it for a year. That's fine. But how are you going to make the most out of what you already have?
And for an example now, what do you do if you have, like, say, the clock keeper? So I realized the cover was completely wrong, just redid the cover. But realistically, it's a standalone time travel romantasy. So do I just leave that? I mean, that what am I going to do with it? I think just changing the cover, I will get a little bit of tailwind from the Goth series because the covers are quite similar now, if that makes sense. Like they look more like a similar kind of a vibe.
Yes. Yeah, I think changing the cover was very good because as we said before, the cover was not reflecting the genre. So
Yeah,
I think that's very good. But yeah, I wouldn't advertise it just because it's, as you say, it's a standalone and you won't get a return on that. I think I would just
yeah.
hope that people who love my other books would find it.
Pick it up.
And
Okay,
then like
got you.
and anything free.
Increasing your reader base is
Like when
good.
you mailing your subscribers, you can say, guys, I've just done this new, well, you would do this anyway, but I've just changed this cover. You know, anything free that you can do to push that would be great, but I wouldn't spend
Yeah.
money on it.
Okay, perfect. Like I'm hearing what you're saying. Like I'm already thinking like the Rachel Rhodes brand. I must actually just let that die slow death. They're just
Yeah.
cute little like rom-com,
Yeah.
and they also again they're not steamy or
Yes.
so I just don't think that they have a market at the moment.
I agree with you, and you never know because what if
Yeah.
rom-com all of a sudden takes off? I mean, it's always a very popular genre, but what if like something happens and readers are all of a sudden looking for short rom-coms? Then you're like, yes, please, I've
Yes.
got that, and then you put that in the mix,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah. And once I know what I'm doing with Facebook advertising, there's nothing stopping me just testing, doing a little test and being like, well,
yeah,
let me see, throw something,
yeah,
particularly if the series was longer. But yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. So I must take each of my titles and say, what is your purpose in
yeah,
my publishing business?
yeah.
And if you don't have one, you must go in the drawer and go to sleep. And, and every
Not
now and again,
forever.
I'll include you in a little video every now and again. But you're not my favorite child.
Yeah, but things do change, right? And as
Yes.
you've seen with vampires, like people go crazy for vampires, and then there's absolutely
Mm,
nothing, and then crazy for vampires.
yeah.
So, like Buffy,
Yeah.
the new Buffy series is coming out. So I've got high hopes for
Yes.
my Blood series, Blood Magic series, because all of a sudden
Okay.
people will be wanting vampire books again.
Vampires again,
And
yes.
then, if let's just say hypothetically, I had that in a drawer, I could bring it out and cover it so that it looks a bit more
Yes.
Buffy-like, and really like make a go of it. So
Or if dystopia ever comes back,
yeah,
we're still waiting. We're still waiting for
one day,
dystopia. Viva dystopia.
one
One day it's got to turn. It's got to turn.
I'll do a proper strategy session 2 or 3 times a year. You sit down with your
Okay.
favorite drink and you just think about your business. You look at your catalog, you think about your business, you think about all the new opportunities because there are always so many more new opportunities. And you just make sure that you on it. You're not as opposed to an author who's like always chasing the shiny object, being like scrapped with his acorns, like what's next, and now I'm gonna write this, and like it's so chaotic.
Yeah.
And you're never going to get anywhere if you don't have clarity in your life, clarity in your business, clarity in your relationships, right? To get anywhere, you need to be clear and you need to be courageous. And without that, it's not going to happen. So those
Yeah.
meetings are very good. You sit down and you're like, right, what am I going to do in this meeting to give me absolute clarity on where my business is going?
And that also part and parcel of that is planning what you're writing next and what you're gonna where you're gonna put it in your business, where it fits
Absolutely.
within your the
Absolutely.
okay. Although people will say, "Oh, you're so much further ahead of me. You've got 28 books." No, technically not. I'm only really 4 books ahead for the business model that I'm aiming for.
Yes, correct. Your point is very good. You need to future cast and have an idea of where technology is going, where the market's going, and how you're going to roll with the punches. Because as we both know, it's just everything's just changing so fast, and we need to future-proof our businesses. Um, Double down being human, like Joanna Penn says. Anything you can, you are very good at this. Anything you can to show your audience that you're human, with your Wednesday waffles and your ease of showing your face on screen and that kind of thing. Like that's all going to work in your favor, I think. And the more of that we do, the better. As AI becomes more and more part of our
Prevalent.
industry. Yeah.
Double down on being human. I love that.
I know. Thank you, Joanna Penn.
Double
We love
down on being.
you.
Oh, we do. We'll see her in New Zealand, I'm sure. Okay, okay. So we're doubling down and we are future casting and we are having plans. I like planning to plan.
I love strategy sessions. It just makes me feel so motivated. So,
Yes.
I went to the spa on Monday and it was a rest day.
Yeah. Yes. So a
I
wink,
was gonna have a
nudge,
rest day
nudge.
so I can to make my flip and pre-order. Um, and I sat by the pool and just thought about strategy for half an hour and like just made notes. And it just was so motivating. I'm like, there's so much to do, but not in a bad way. I'm like, there's just so many opportunities. And I'm just so excited. Like, if you just think of I know I go on and on about this, but like the Kickstarters, the special editions, the new audiobooks, the YouTube channel, like, there's just so much fun, exciting stuff to do.
Yeah.
I'm just so
Yeah.
amped for everything.
Yes. I do feel like this is a massive season of, I don't even want to say change, but growth for me. Like
Yeah.
there's just so much going on. And I feel like for the first time in my career, I'm making smart choices. Like I'm doing the right things at the right times, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
And even every pod that we've done, it has been strategy for me because I'm listening and I'm absorbing. I'm going, okay, that's a good idea. And even what
yeah,
we did last week, talking about all those panels you sat on and learning from people what they're implementing, I'm going, how can I use that? Like, how can
yeah,
I do it on a smaller scale within the confines of my business? So,
yeah.
um, yeah, I just feel like the signs. I think it's the signs.
The science, it's the science,
It's the
and it's the podcast.
signs.
Sitting and thinking strategy every Friday, I think is going to be very good for both of us. Because basically,
Yeah,
we sit and we think
100%.
about our business every Friday. It's brilliant.
It's definitely keeping me super motivated.
Yeah,
I used to not even come up to my office. I used to just like sit in my room and like type and then like mess around. And now I'm like, okay, I started coming up every Friday to film. And then I'm like, well, I'm up there. All my stuff's up there. I keep bringing everything up there. So I'm going to go up there. And when I'm
yeah,
up here, I'm so much more productive. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Because I
It's a
don't get
different mindset.
distracted.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
those rituals that we talked about. It's like, oh, now I'm in
Yeah.
my office and now I have to work. Yeah,
Yes. It's
yeah,
worky time. Yeah.
yeah. It's a good time.
Okay. Okay. What else have you got for me?
All I have for now, because now your
Okay.
homework is to go and sit and do your strategy, and then we'll have a follow-up session,
Yes.
and you can talk me through your
Yes.
strategy, and I can give you feedback.
Okay, perfect. I love how I'm writing this down as if I don't edit this episode and re-listen to everything. But you know what? It's that whole thing, right? If you see it, if you hear it, if you say it, if you write
Yes,
it, if you,
yes,
it sinks it in.
yes.
Okay, so that is our strategy. So the biggest step is figure out what I'm doing with my backlist, get my head around the fact that if things work out, there might be a difficult conversation. Write my steamy romance series as fast as these little fingers can possibly type. And we're starting to put Facebook ads behind the box sets, German and English, to see if we can get that firing.
Yes. I think that is an excellent start.
So, with that said, are I think we're ready. We're ready to set up a Facebook
Ready.
ad.
We are ready.
I feel like that guy and that I get like I start to sweat. So I'm like, I feel like there's so much hinges on it, like I
Okay,
feel like I'm
well,
going to the casino, but I know I'm not going to the casino. I went briefly live on TikTok before I came on here, and Elise came on. It was the
how
first
did
time she
you?
managed to catch her live. And I was saying that I just felt nervous and I just wanted to jump on and see if anyone was there to talk to me while I was
Oh,
getting ready. And she was like, "You're going to be absolutely fine. You're in such good hands." And I was like,
oh,
"Oh, she
Lee.
adores you." Yeah, she's
Oh,
like,
I adore
"JT's
her.
got you." I was like, "Oh, yeah." Have you seen her TikToks?
No,
She
if you
is
could,
no, she is brilliant,
I
brilliant.
can
She is
imagine it.
absolutely
I can
my
imagine.
favorite TikToker. She is
Okay.
hysterical. The way she interprets like an audio and how she puts her own
Oh,
spin on it.
great.
You have to go and watch her. She is brilliant.
I
Wait for
can't
the end. I died. I died. It says when I hear you want to get into historical fiction. But the way she does it, she's just so creative with her stuff. Elise's TikTok account is bashful reader. One
Bashful. Oh,
word,
yes.
bashful reader. Like when she posts a video, I'm like, oh,
Awesome.
nice.
All
Okay,
right.
great. Well, next episode is Facebook ad setup. So
Should we say
I
goodbye
think,
to our
yeah,
lovely 12 subscribers?
yes. Excuse me. I saw on
Blah.
Substack, we have like 22 or something.
Oh my God, Delport.
I
We are
know.
so popular.
New Zealand, here we come.
YouTube is up to 32, I think, which surprised me because I honestly thought it was like
That's
8.
cool. My prediction is that when these ads start to do what you say they're gonna do, that's those episodes are gonna start getting gobbled up.
From your
Because people are
lips.
gonna be like, oh wait, yeah, because I mean it's everybody says, oh, I can do that. I'm gonna make you a six-figure author, and people are like, oh, no, you're not. And then when it starts happening, they'll be like, oh, how did they do that? Right? People are cynical by nature. So
As
proof
they
I
should
think
be.
is yeah. So I think just give it time. Okay, well, I'm excited for the next episode when we will set up Facebook ads and you will be taking control of my screen. So best I make sure that there's nothing on it that I don't want people to see.
Correct.
I better put those spicy photos away.
No, leave them
So
on. We want to see them.
so I will see you in the next episode,
See
Fred.
you on the other side.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the
Okay.
strategy sesh.
You are welcome, and don't forget to do your homework.
No, I'll do it. I promise.
Okay,
I
good.
promise.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay,
All right.
friend. Okay. Bye.
Bye.